Namaste, Sat Sri Akal and Adab. This is your host and host Sunil Jhaveri, also known as Mr. Bond in the mutual fund industry.
Post our last couple of sessions where we spoke about starting early and having a second source of income, one question that keeps popping up in my mind is, what would a few years, maybe 3 to 5 years, change the end game? Like, what if I start investing a little later in my life?
Excellent question. And for the young viewers again, what I'm going to answer is going to make a lot of difference in your financial planning journey. I'm sure all of you must have heard of the story of Three Little Pigs.
Yes, I've heard of that, but how is that
How is it relevant in this?
to the question? Yeah.
Okay. The relevance to that question is I'm going to correlate the story of Three Little Pigs with three different sets of investors and their mindsets. So in Three Little Pigs, there were three pigs who were building. The first pig, who was a little lazy, said, I'll build a house of hay and grass. The second pig, who was a little more conscientious, he said, no, I'll build a house of wood and sticks. And the third pig, who understood the importance of building a house of brick and mortar for his own safety. And I'm going to correlate that with the story of Three Little Pigs and the investors. Now, if you correlate these pigs and the investors, so the first investor who says, I wish to enjoy first 20 years of my career. So if you are talking about 30 years of your professional life, and he starts his investment journey from 21st year to the 30th year. Let's assume he starts investing 5,000 rupees per month. That means over 10 years he has invested 6 lakh rupees. The second investor, who has a little more balance, says, no, I will start my journey. I'll enjoy my first 10 years of my career and I'll start my investment journey from 11th year to the 30th year. So that's 20 years, 5,000 rupees, 12 lakh rupees is the total investment. And the third investor, who's the most conscientious and who understands the power of compounding, he starts from day one of starting of his career. So he starts to invest the same 5,000 rupees over 30 years, which is 18 lakhs. So viewers, please understand the difference is only 6 lakhs, 12 lakhs and 18 lakhs. But the main difference is 10 years, 20 years and 30 years. Correct?
Yeah.
Now you may want to ask me a question as to what is the difference between the 6, 12 and 18 lakhs in terms of power of compounding. Let's assume that the returns generated on these investments is 12% annualized. So the first investor who invested 6 lakh rupees for 10-year period, growing at 12% per annum, his corpus has grown to 13 lakh rupees at the end of that 10-year period. The second investor who invested for 20 years, that 12 lakh rupees, his investment has grown to 66 lakhs at the same 12% per annum. And do you know the final corpus of the third investor who started from day one of starting of his career, that 18 lakh rupees investment?
I have no idea.
It goes up to 2.78 crores. Humongous difference between the first investor, the second investor and the third investor, and that is nothing but power of compounding and starting early. Again, coming back to the moral of the story, start investment journey from day one of starting of your career. Have I made myself clear?
Yes.
Do you want to delay your investment process 3 to 5 years down the line?
No, I do not wish to do that.
Thank you so much. This is your host and host Sunil Jhaveri, also known as Mr. Bond in the mutual fund industry, signing off. See you next week. Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme related documents carefully.